My beloved child, pause for just a moment and listen to me. It is no coincidence that you are hearing these words. I, your Father, the one who has loved you before you were ever formed, am speaking directly to your heart. Be certain of this, you are the next. Yes, you, not someone else. And I, with everlasting love, am waiting for your response. You have often wondered, why me? What makes me special? So today I tell you, you were not chosen because of anything you have done, nor because you are greater than anyone else. It is because I loved you before the foundations of this world were set in place. It is because your name has been engraved in the palm of my hand. Every moment of your life has been written by me in a language of relentless love. Know this, you did not enter this world by chance. You are an essential part of a grand plan of love I have been preparing since long ago. Every beat of your heart, every breath you take has never escaped my gaze. I saw you through those long, seemingly hopeless days. I stood with you in those heavy, wordless nights. Yes, I was there closer than your breath, watching you wrestle in silence, crying out in prayers that seemed to vanish into the void. But my child, the truth is that not a single sound from your lips has been ignored. Not a single tear has been wasted. I have caught every one and kept them as treasured jewels in my sacred vault. I know the seasons you had to walk through in silence when you thought you had been abandoned, when friends turned their backs, when your dreams shattered, when hope thinned, like morning mist. But even in those moments, I never left you. In fact, it was then that I carried you in, my arms of power. When you were too weary to go on, I walked in your place. When you collapsed in despair, I upheld your soul with a strength this world could never comprehend. I know you've asked, if you love me, why did you let me suffer? My precious one true love does not always mean shielding you from all pain. There are trials that in my perfect love I have allowed, not because I find joy in your pain, but because I see the whole picture you cannot yet see. I know that through every wound, every loss, every tear I am forming within you, an unshakable strength, a perseverance. No storm can conquer a faith so deep that even the darkest shadows cannot extinguish it. Beloved child, you have survived battles not only to prove your strength, but to affirm that my choosing you was right. The enemy sees the potential I've placed within you. He trembles at the light that is growing in your soul. That's why he has attacked you so fiercely. That's why he's tried to plant lies in your mind, telling you that you're not enough, that you've been forgotten, that you've gone too far to be redeemed. But I have come to shatter every one of those lies. The truth is, I have never abandoned you. And now I am calling you to step into a new season of your life, a season where every promise I've ever whispered to you will begin to unfold before your eyes. I know there were times when you thought your seasons of waiting were in vain. You looked around and saw others being blessed while it seemed you had been forgotten. But my child, those seasons of waiting were never meant to punish you. They were the very times I was preparing you for blessings so great that had I given them too soon, they could have crushed you. And now, with your soul refined through the fire of trials, with your faith deeply rooted in trust, you are ready to receive. You are next, not because you are perfect, not because you never made mistakes. You were chosen because I saw your faithfulness in the small things. I saw how you continued to love even when wounded. I saw you choose forgiveness even while your heart was bleeding. And now I declare you have been proven worthy. So prepare your heart. What is coming will surpass every dream you ever dared to dream. Yet before the doors swing open, I need you to understand this. You are chosen, you are loved, and you are appointed for great things the world has yet to behold. And though challenges still await, you will not face them alone. I will be with you as I have always been. My beloved child, now that you know you are not a random occurrence, I want you to grasp an even deeper truth. Every path you've walked bears the imprint of my hand. You may have asked yourself why the battle seemed endless, why one storm followed closely on the heels of another. But know this, those trials were never meant to break you. They were training ground for a greater glory I've destined for you. Do not forget, I do not train warriors for trivial battles. When those you trusted most turned their backs, when your most treasured dreams shattered in your hands, it was not punishment, it was purification. I allowed those things to happen because I knew there were people, connections, and habits that, if carried forward, would become burdens holding you back. Some relationships didn't break by accident, they were my deliverance disguised long before you could see it. Some doors closed not to bring despair, but to protect you from paths that would have sabotaged the future I have written for you. My beloved, the losses you have endured are not the end of your story. They are the sacred spaces I am using to pour something new and far better into your life. In the moments you thought you were forsaken, I was working silently behind the scenes, arranging events, touching hearts, opening doors your natural eyes had not yet perceived. I know there were nights you lay awake, your heart heavy with questions, wondering if I was listening, wondering if I still cared. But I want you to know, on every one of those nights I was sitting beside you. My hand was resting upon your aching heart. I was whispering words of hope into your soul, even if your sorrowed ears could not yet hear them. I covered you with my presence. I shielded you even when you had given up hope in yourself. You are the next, not simply because you endured, but because you refused to give up. Even when every logical reason urged you to surrender, you held on to me. Even when your heart was torn by doubt and fear, a part of you still whispered a fragile prayer: Lord, please don't leave me. And my beloved, I have never left you. I have never turned my back on you. In fact, it was in those moments when you felt farthest from me that I was closest to you. For this reason, the promises I have spoken over your life are not delayed forever. They are drawing near faster than you realize. So I need you to remain steadfast. Keep walking by faith, even when the path is not yet clear. For it is trust in the dark that unlocks the gates of light. Remember this: every battle you have fought was not just for your present, but for the generations to come. Your perseverance is laying a foundation upon which other lives will be transformed. The light I am igniting within you will guide many others back home to me. Your fight has never been in vain. Your suffering has never been wasted. Every scar, every drop of sweat, every tear shed in silence is building something beyond what eyes have seen, ears have heard, or hearts have imagined. Take a deep breath now, and let my words soak deeply into your soul. Know that what I have begun in you I will also complete. None of the enemy's schemes against you will prosper. No curse will stand before me. You will witness my faithfulness rise like the morning dawn, and you will know that you have never fought alone. Right now, as your heart stills and your mind begins to open to the truth I am revealing, keep listening. Because what I am about to do in your life will exceed all that you have ever dared to hope for. But before you step into this new season, I need you to understand not everything from your past can journey with you into your future. There are relationships, habits, and thought patterns that I once allowed for a season and for a purpose, but now their time has passed. Just as a branch must be pruned to bear more fruit, so must your soul be refined to grow stronger and bloom with greater beauty. My child, do not fear the pruning. Do not cling to the things I am calling you to release. I see what lies ahead, the opportunities waiting for you, the doors about to open, the seasons that will bring joy, peace, and victory. But to pass through those gates, your soul must be light and free from the burdens that no longer serve my divine purpose. The delay you once experienced was not because I forgot you, but because I was giving you time to prepare. And now the moment appointed for you is drawing near. You asked me for a sign, didn't you? A confirmation that you are not lost, that you are truly walking in the right direction. These very words are that confirmation. It is no coincidence that you are hearing this message. It is not by chance that your heart is resonating so deeply with what I am whispering now. Tomorrow, when you rise, do not simply begin your day as usual. Rise with overflowing gratitude as one who has been chosen to enter a new chapter. Even if your eyes have yet to see the change, let your faith go before you. Sing your song of praise, not because everything is perfect, but because you believe I am at work in all things. Your praise offered in the midst of uncertainty will become the trumpet sound that unlocks the heavenly gates I have already prepared for you. My beloved child, there are things your physical eyes have yet to see, but your soul has already begun to perceive them. A season of restoration is approaching swiftly. That which the enemy tried to steal from you, I will return in multiplied measure. The joy that was once taken will be replaced with a deep and enduring gladness that no one can take away. The peace that was disturbed will return like a gentle river flowing through your soul. Dreams that seem to have died will rise again, stronger, purer, and more radiant than ever before. Yet I ask you to remember this: with great blessings come great responsibilities. I do not bless you merely to fulfill personal desires. I bless you so that you may become a vessel of blessing for the souls who are longing, wandering, and weary. You will be called to lift those who have fallen, to shine light for those who have lost their way, and to be salt and light in a world groaning beneath darkness. Walk boldly, not in your own strength, but in mine. Angels are surrounding you, shielding you from the schemes of the enemy. My power will make a way for you even in the desert. My grace will be sufficient when you face new trials. I declare over you now, you are the next. No more doubt, no more hesitation, no more looking back. As you step into the new chapter I have prepared, let your heart remain soft under my guidance. Do not let old wounds, bitter memories, or lingering fears choke the path I've set before you. The years behind you were not wasted. They were not merely a series of hardships to endure, but rather layers upon layers of foundation I carefully laid within your soul. Through every loss, every delay, every silent night where your dreams seemed forgotten, I was deepening the roots of your faith. So now, as the winds of a new season blow and the harvest begins to overflow into your life, you will not be shaken. You will stand firm like an oak tree rooted deep into the ground, unshaken, even as storms roar overhead. My precious one, you are about to see doors open before your eyes. Some will shine brightly and appear promising. Others may look like the very answers to prayers you have long whispered in secret. But I urge you, discern carefully. Do not chase after what sparkles without first laying it before me. For the enemy is cunning, often disguising traps as blessings. Do not rush. Do not let the pressures of others, the expectations of the world, or even the impatience within your own heart push you out of my divine timing. My timing is perfect. When I open a door, no one can shut it. And when I shut a door, even if the world screams to open it, it will not move. Therefore walk in step with my spirit, slowly, steadily, never ahead and never behind, always in rhythm with my sacred direction for you. There may be moments when you feel lost. There may be times when you wonder, did I really hear God's voice? My child, remember, faith does not always come with overwhelming emotion. Sometimes faith is simply taking one more step even when the skies remain gray. Faith is closing your eyes, holding tightly to my hand, and walking forward, believing with all your heart that I will never ever let you go. Believe in the maturity I have cultivated within your heart. The years you've walked through were not simply seasons of testing. They were divine preparations. Through every challenge, I was sharpening your spiritual vision and softening your heart to be more sensitive to my voice. You must trust the holy intuition I've planted within your soul. Do not underestimate the subtle nudges, the quiet warnings I have whispered into your spirit. They are not coincidences. They are sacred gifts, divine safeguards meant to keep you from traps so well disguised that the natural eye cannot detect them. My child, there is a great shift stirring in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding you. Fresh winds are beginning to blow, winds of renewal, breakthrough, and revelation. And you are not merely called to witness these winds. You are being invited to partner with them. This is not a season for passive waiting or hesitant watching. This is a season for movement, for intentional, faith-filled, and obedient steps forward. What I am releasing in this hour cannot be received by those who remain idle. It is reserved for those who respond with action, for those who move even when they do not yet see. You must step into this season as a beloved child, not as a beggar. You do not need to plead or persuade me to release what I have already promised you. The blessings assigned to your life are not based on your performance nor your perfection, but on your position as a rightful heir in my kingdom. These promises are sealed by the blood I shed and upheld by my everlasting love, a love that does not waver or shift. You are not striving for something uncertain. You are walking toward what is already yours. Understand that I am not merely ushering you into a new season, but elevating you into a new dimension of understanding, authority, and spiritual influence. This is a time when the quiet prayers you once whispered in hidden places will blossom into visible miracles. Your faith will no longer just sustain you. It will begin to move obstacles, change realities, and awaken wonder in even the most skeptical hearts. I am awakening power within you that you did not know you carried. So prepare your heart, refine your thoughts, cleanse your mouth from complaint and fill it with praise. Let your mind be renewed and released from outdated patterns shaped by fear, frustration, or lies the world has whispered to you for too long. I want you to think, according to my eternal truth, You are not defined by your past failures. You are not bound by the rejections you've endured, and you are not to measure your worth by the fleeting opinions of others. What I have spoken over you is final, and that truth must be the anchor of your identity. You are who I say you are, chosen, loved, and anointed for a divine purpose. Let the old layers fall away like dead skin from winter, so that the fresh sprouts of a renewed mind may emerge and flourish under the light of truth. Do not carry into this new season the distorted image of yourself that the enemy has tried to convince you of. Let every old judgment, every haunting criticism, every lie that once nested in your thoughts fall away like dust from yesterday. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are my masterpiece. And the one who begins all things and finishes them perfectly has never once failed in the work of his hands, including you. Now is the moment, my child, to see yourself through my eyes. No longer look at your life with insecurity, fear, or shame. I see in you the strength to break chains, the courage to forge paths in the wilderness, and the brilliance to shine light into the darkest of places. So why are you still hesitating? Why do you continue to question the value and the divine mission I have written into your existence? My beloved, this is not the hour to shrink back into the shadows of fear. This is the moment to rise, to spread your wings of faith, and soar into the calling that is echoing deep within your spirit. The enemy has tried to paralyze you with lies, telling you that you are too broken, too flawed, too far gone to be used by me. But the truth is, the very cracks in your soul, the wounds you once tried to hide, will become the very places where my glory shines the brightest. It is through your brokenness that my power will be made perfect, and through your surrender that the impossible will become possible. Learn to see the miracle in your very existence. The fact that you are still standing, still breathing, still longing to hear my voice, that alone is living proof of victory. Do not measure yourself by what you have yet to accomplish, but by all that you have already overcome through my grace. So, my beloved, lay down every burden of insecurity, cast aside every doubt about your worth. Clothe yourself in the armor of faith, put on the helmet of hope, and take up the sword of my word. Nothing can stand against a soul fully surrendered to a divine purpose. Prepare yourself, for a new wind is beginning to blow. The gates are trembling in anticipation, and the season I promised you is drawing near. You must understand, you were not saved merely to survive, but to walk in triumph. You were not healed just to patch up broken pieces, but to become a source of healing for others. Your life is not a tale of loss, but a testimony of my power. Power that turns ruins into glory, tears into praise, and ashes into crowns. Therefore, do not live as someone merely waiting for a miracle. Live as one who carries miracles with every step. Know that wherever you set foot, the spiritual atmosphere is transformed. Understand that every word you speak in faith has the power to open the gates of heaven. Remember that the light within you is stronger than any darkness trying to surround you. I am calling you to live differently, for the truth is, this light cannot be mixed with darkness, just as truth cannot be compromised with lies. My child, the days of living halfway are over. The light within you is too precious to be dimmed by petty compromises. The calling upon your life is too great to be hindered by old habits. I am refining you like gold in the fire, not to hurt you, but to make you shine brighter, purer, and to reflect my glory more clearly. Do not fear the refining. Do not fear when I uncover the hidden corners of your heart and bring to light what needs healing. This is not rejection. It is an invitation into deeper freedom. I do not expose to condemn. I expose to deliver. I do not reveal to shame. I reveal to heal. Every time you courageously face the shadows within your soul under the light of my grace, you take one step closer to the wholeness I destined for you. Remember, this holiness is not a burden, it is a pair of wings. It does not weigh you down, it lifts you up. It does not steal your joy, it unlocks pure joy. When you live in holiness, you are not just pleasing me. You are also swinging wide the doors to miracles, blessings, and breakthrough that will overflow in your life. And the miracle is this: you do not have to achieve this on your own. I am not standing far off demanding you to climb the mountain of righteousness by your own strength. No, I have given you my Holy Spirit who dwells within you to teach you, guide you, shape you, and empower you each day. Every time you fall, my Spirit lifts you up. Every time you wander, He calls your name. Every time you grow weary, He renews your strength. You are not alone on this journey. Not for a single moment have I left your side. Not for a single instant have I turned my face away from you. Therefore, do not be afraid to step into this new season with all your heart. Do not cling to the fragments of the past as if they were some kind of powerless talisman. Let them go. Release them. Trust me, for what I have prepared for you is far greater than anything you have lost. The dreams that are about to come true will make the old sorrows fade like misty winter rain that has passed. My child, I am doing a new thing. It has already begun to sprout like a tender shoot beneath hardened soil. Though your eyes may not yet perceive it, receive it by faith. Walk forward, sing praises as if the miracle has already come to pass. My beloved child, now that your soul is ready, I am calling you to step into a new level of awareness, an awakening to the reality that you are standing at the threshold of a divine unveiling. The things you once only dared to whisper in fragile prayers I am about to make manifest before your eyes. No longer distant dreams, no longer vague hopes. I tell you, this is the moment when spiritual reality will break into your visible world. Understand this, before every breakthrough there are always final hours of testing. Just as dawn fights its fiercest battle with darkness before it breaks, so you are in that decisive moment now. This is the time when your perseverance, faith, and obedience are being refined at the deepest level. This is the moment when the enemy unleashes his final tricks, the temptations to doubt, the lies meant to discourage, the subtle distractions designed to derail you from the path I have laid out. Do not be afraid. Simply remember this. The intensity of the resistance you face now is the clearest evidence that you are about to step into a great transformation. Know this, your enemy never wastes resources attacking what doesn't threaten his kingdom. So do not step back. Do not lower your standards. Do not compromise in search of temporary ease. Every hardship you endure now is weaving together a crown of glory for you. Every trial you persevere through is forging in you an eternal weight of glory that nothing can take away. Be watchful in this hour. The enemy knows he cannot steal my promise from you, so he will try to steal your patience. He will whisper, "Give up. Nothing is changing. It's all just a delusion." But my child, that is precisely the moment when you must stand firmer than ever. Because miracles do not come to those who quit halfway. Miracles belong to those who dare to believe until the very end. Remember Abraham, who trusted me, even when every circumstance stood against the promise. Remember Joseph, who remained faithful in the prison, believing that the dreams I had placed in him would not be forgotten. Remember Daniel, who kept praying though death was close at hand. And in the end I revealed my glory through their lives in ways that astonished the world. I am writing such a story through your life as well, a story that will leave the world in awe and cause heaven to rejoice. A story that you yourself will look back on with tears not of sorrow but of overwhelming gratitude for the greatness of my goodness revealed in your life. My beloved child, hold fast to the promise I have placed within your heart and fight the good fight of faith with a renewed boldness. Lift your voice in praise even in the middle of the storm. Declare my promises in the barren wilderness, for in just a little while the harvest will overflow in your life like relentless waves crashing upon the shore. My dear one, as you persevere through these final moments of testing, I am calling you to something vital. Let your heart be filled with praise. Not praise because everything is already completed, but praise because of the unwavering trust that I am completing all things according to my divine plan for you. Consider this, child, praising me in times of ease is effortless. Anyone can sing when the harvest is already in hand. But to praise me in the wilderness, to lift your voice when the fields are still empty, is that not the mark of a matured faith? That kind of faith moves my throne. That kind of faith opens the floodgates of heaven and ushers in miracles upon your life. When you praise, not only does the atmosphere around you shift, but the very realm of the Spirit trembles. Invisible chains are shattered, walls of hindrance collapse, the windows of heaven swing open, and my angels are dispatched to carry out every word I have spoken over your life. Know this, your praise is a weapon far mightier than anything this world can forge. So praise me whether tears still stain your cheeks or your heart is weighed down with questions that have yet to find answers. Do not wait for the miracle to arrive to open your mouth in praise. Praise now while the ground is still dry, while the skies are still gray. For praise is not a response to miracles. Praise is the seed from which miracles are born. I know there are moments when even lifting your voice in praise feels impossible. When your mind is burdened by exhaustion, when your heart is clenched by disappointment, when your prayers seem to hit the ceiling and fall back down unheard, those are the most sacred moments to praise me. Today, I will reward you not only with the miracles you've been praying for, but with a deep transformation in the very fabric of who you are. You will not only receive a miracle, you will become one. I want you to understand this. I am not merely changing the circumstances around you. I am transforming you. I am lifting you from being a survivor to becoming a conqueror, from a beggar to an heir, from a soul grappling in the dark to a lighthouse shining in the midnight hour. I need your cooperation. I need you to trust the process even when it doesn't follow the timeline you envisioned. I need you to remain steady when I slow things down, because sometimes the delay is my protection from dangers you cannot yet see. I need you to persevere when I move in ways no one expects, because I am not confined by human methods or limited by human expectations. My beloved child, do not limit me with small expectations. Do not assume that I can only work within the familiar patterns you've known. I am the one who makes a way through the sea, who carves a path in the wilderness, who causes water to flow from barren rock. I am the one who turns the impossible into reality, who transforms the weak into warriors, who restores what was dead and breathes it back to life in radiant glory. Now, as I look upon you, I do not see a soul about to collapse. I see a warrior rising from the ashes, clothed in the armor of glory, holding the sword of my word, with eyes ignited by an unquenchable light of faith. When you raise a song of praise in the darkness, you are not merely expressing your faithfulness, you are engaging in a spiritual battle deeper than any fight visible to the human eye. Every word of praise you release becomes an arrow piercing through veils of doubt. Every song of worship you lift becomes a sword striking into the heart of the enemy. You think you are singing simply as an act of personal faith, but in truth, you are shifting the very atmosphere around you, defeating unseen forces that have tried to block your divine destiny. I want you to understand this deeply. Praise does not change me, it changes you. It widens your heart to receive the wonders I am pouring out. It lifts your soul from stagnation and breaks the invisible chains of fear, ushering you into a space where I can move freely. When you praise, you are proclaiming that I am good, and heaven responds to that declaration with a power this world cannot comprehend. My beloved, I have seen the moments when you praised me with tears in your eyes. I have heard the faint praises that rose from your broken heart. I have collected every note of that quiet faithfulness and kept them like the most precious treasures. For to me there is nothing more beautiful than a soul that chooses to trust in the storm, that chooses to worship in the dry and weary desert. Right now, the reward for your faithfulness is drawing near. Not a reward forced from my hand, but one I have longed to give you from the very beginning. My child, I need you to receive it not only with desire, but with maturity. For great blessings require a steady heart, and the breakthrough you have been waiting for will come with new responsibilities and fresh challenges. Know this, I desire for you to step into it with a heart that is unshakable, no longer swayed by circumstances or the voices of men. Do not let delays cause you to question your worth. My child, your value does not fluctuate with the timing of answered prayers. Your worth is anchored in my everlasting love for you, the same love that once bore the cross on your behalf, a love that never falters, never diminishes, and never lets go. I am teaching you to love me not for what I do, but for who I am. Because when such love is formed, it becomes immovable, even if the heavens and the earth pass away. When you love me like that, you will enter a new depth of intimacy with me, a place where miracles are no longer a destination, but a natural outcome of the living relationship between you and me. This world is in desperate need of souls like yours, souls not shaken by shifting winds, not seduced by false lights, not crushed by cruel criticism, souls that have been refined in the fire of affliction, and therefore shine with a light that no darkness can extinguish. Even now I am calling you to be one of them, not just to receive, but to give, not just to be served, but to serve, not just to be blessed, but to become a source of blessing for many. My child, as I prepare you to enter a new season of fullness, I need your heart to grasp this one truth. You are not only called to receive, but to reign. Not in the way the world defines power with oppression and selfish ambition, but in the way my kingdom operates, leading through love, serving in humility, and ruling with righteousness. You have been faithful in the little things. You have learned to persevere through dry seasons. You have stood firm while the foundations around you were shaking. And now I am making a way to lift you to new heights, not so that you may boast, but so that you may become a beacon for those still wandering in the dark. Do not forget that there are spiritual territories I granted you long ago, yet they remain unclaimed simply because you have not known who you truly are. I have placed in your hands the keys to unlock destiny. I have given you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and to overcome all powers of darkness. But as long as you see yourself through the lens of fear and inadequacy, the treasures I've set apart for you will remain hidden. My beloved, I am calling you to recognize your true identity in me. Clothe yourself with the courage of the Anointed One. Stand in the power of an heir. Do not ask me for what I have already placed within you. Walk as one who possesses. Declare as one with authority. Act as one who knows that heaven backs every single step you take. The great transformation you long for does not begin externally. It begins within. Before I expand your territory, I need you to expand your trust in me. Before I entrust you with greater responsibilities, I need you to be secure in the new identity I have birthed in you. Do not let past failures imprison you in cycles of shame. Do not allow the words of men to trap you in invisible cages of limitation. I have broken every chain. I have shattered every prison door. I have written upon your forehead a name no one can erase, chosen. Now, my child, I am calling you to live as one who is chosen, not with arrogance, but with humility soaked in gratitude, not to exalt yourself, but to reflect my glory, not to build your own kingdom, but to expand mine upon the earth. The days of bowing your head in shame have ended. The days of limiting yourself out of fear of failure are behind you. You were not created to shrink back into the shadows, but to shine atop the hill. You were given talents, gifts, and dreams not to be buried, but to be offered to be used to help paint the grand tapestry of glory I am weaving through every faithful life. From this moment forward, every word you speak, every action you take, every small decision you make will carry eternal weight. For I am enlarging the sphere of your influence. What you sow today will echo across generations. What you obey today will release rivers of blessing you cannot yet imagine. Therefore, I am calling you to walk with intentionality. No longer should you act on fleeting impulses. No longer should you chase after the illusions of the world. Every step you take, every word you speak, and every dream you nurture must be rooted in divine guidance. For you are no longer a child tossed to and fro by the winds, but an heir of an unshakable kingdom. Learn to see your life through the lens of eternity. Do not merely ask, does this benefit me today? Instead, ask, does this serve the eternal purpose God has ordained for me? Every choice, every investment, every relationship must be weighed in that light. For the new season ahead does not merely demand stronger faith, it calls for sharper discernment, deeper wisdom, and greater courage. Remember, I did not bring you this far to abandon you midway. I did not awaken those dreams in you, only to let them shatter. I am the faithful God, the one who promises and also fulfills. Your part is to trust, obey, and walk day by day, not needing to see the entire picture, but knowing that I hold the full blueprint in my hand. Now that your heart has begun to comprehend the sacred honor I have bestowed upon you, I desire to take you deeper into the true meaning of the calling you carry. Know this, that calling is not merely about glory. It is a daily dying to the things of the flesh, so that you may live wholly for the things of the Spirit. My child, the world has taught that success is found in accumulation and in climbing the ladder of personal achievement. But in my kingdom, success is measured by surrender. The more you yield to my refining hand, the more I will usher you into depths of grace and power. The lower you bow beneath my mighty hand, the higher I will lift you by a way no human striving could ever accomplish. Therefore, cast off every illusion of control. Surrender every plan built solely on your own understanding. Let me shape your dreams, redraw the borders within your heart, expand your vision, and stretch your capacity to match the heartbeat of heaven. My child, the path ahead will require you to hear my voice more clearly than ever before. You must learn to recognize the gentle promptings of my spirit amidst the clamor of this world. For there will be roads that seem logical but lead to deception, and there will be turns that appear insignificant but unlock doors I prepared for you before the foundations of the earth. I will teach you the art of walking in divine guidance. It is a sensitivity that does not come from intellect but from being continually saturated in my presence. It is an alertness that is not based on loud external signs but on the whispers of the Holy Spirit within. This requires time, patience, and a life not merely busy with outward work, but one that prioritizes intimate communion with me above all else. Beloved, do not let busyness become the thief of the sacred bond between us. Do not trade my presence for fading achievements, for your strength does not come from what you do for me but from being in me. Your victory does not arise from grand campaigns, but from those quiet moments when you sit at my feet, hear my voice, and let your heart beat in rhythm with mine. My child, be watchful of the seemingly small things, for a heart left unattended in silence can lead to a public collapse. In the same way, a small compromise, if left uncorrected, can fling wide open the door for great deception to enter. That is why I call you to live in unceasing vigilance, not out of fear but in divine wisdom. Not in suspicion, but in sharp discernment. Keep your spiritual lamp burning bright so that when I speak, you will recognize my voice instantly. When I stir your heart, you will be ready to follow without delay. My child, what I am about to do through your life will require a sensitivity far beyond the old standards. I am leading you into uncharted territories, into spheres of influence you never dared to dream of. And in these new places, you will not be able to rely on past experiences. You will have to live by every breath of fresh guidance from me. Therefore, I remind you, do not be afraid of the new, nor shrink back from roads your eyes have never seen. Remember, I am not only the God of beginnings. I am the one who goes before you, who clears the path, who makes the way straight. All you need to do is hold tightly to my hand, day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment. When you do this, you will witness doors that were once sealed suddenly swing wide open. Walls that once seemed impenetrable will dissolve like mist beneath the sun. Limitations that once confined you will become meaningless in the face of my power moving through you. Beloved, this new season is not merely a time of greater favor. It is a higher level of sacred partnership, of intimate collaboration, where you will not simply labor for me, but with me to carry out the grand plans that have been ordained from eternity past. As I lead you into this new land, understand this: it is not just a transfer of resources or status, it is a transformation in the way you operate spiritually. From now on, you will no longer walk as one seeking affirmation, but as one who has already been affirmed by the one who never makes a mistake. My child, I do not bless you merely for your enjoyment, but for your commission. Every gift I pour into your life, be it talent, provision, or divine relationships, has been given as a tool to build my kingdom on earth. You will be an instrument in my hand, not to seek your own glory, but to reflect the glory of the one who redeemed you. So be bold and take up this role. Clothe yourself with the mindset of a faithful steward. What I entrust to you is not just for today. It is meant to create echoes into eternity. Every act of love, every obedient decision, every step of faith will be recorded in heaven's chronicles. And one day when you stand before my throne, I myself will call each one by name and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." My dear one, the trials you've walked through were never in vain. They were the training ground of faith, the forge of patience, the classroom of discernment. Every tear shed, every silent battle fought, every time you rejected the shortcut and chose integrity. Instead, all of it has prepared you for this moment, the moment you rise, not merely as one who has been saved, but as one who is now being sent. Child of mine, I do not only desire for you to receive blessings, I desire that you become a blessing, not just to receive grace, but to distribute grace, not just to walk in the light, but to become light for others. Never underestimate the power of your influence, for I know that one honest word can change a life. One act of love can ignite hope in a family. One righteous decision can spark a chain of spiritual reactions that only eternity can measure. Therefore, I call you to live with an eternal perspective. Do not be distracted by fleeting victories or temporary defeats. Let your eyes remain fixed on the everlasting reward, not on the crowns bestowed by human hands. My beloved child, be watchful. As my glory draws near, so too will come more subtle temptations. The higher you rise, the stronger the winds will blow. The more influence you carry, the more cleverly disguised the temptations will become. The enemy will not come with an obvious ugly face, but will clothe himself in appealing appearances, reasonable opportunities, and enticing invitations. But, my child, I have equipped you with spiritual eyes to discern. I have placed within you my Holy Spirit, who will remind you, warn you, and guide you every step of the way. Now, my child, as everything has been prepared, as your spirit has been refined through the fire of trials, and your mind renewed by truth, I speak to you clearly. Your appointed time has come. No more delay, no more waiting. This is the hour for you to rise with steady feet, with burning courage, with eyes no longer clouded by doubt, but filled with hope and holy conviction. You do not step forward as a lost child seeking an identity, but as a rightful heir sealed by the power of the Holy Spirit, anointed by my very presence. Upon your forehead is the mark of divine selection. Upon your shoulders the mantle of honor which I myself have placed upon you. In your hands is the sword of my word, sharper than any double-edged sword, ready to break every chain and demolish every stronghold of deception. Right now, angels surround you, dispatched from heaven with orders to protect you, guide you, and fight on your behalf. Doors once thought immovable are beginning to tremble. Walls that once separated are cracking open. Generational curses, ancient chains, and veils of confusion that once clouded your vision are all being pushed back by the power of the One who is at work within you. Lift up your head. Do not look back at old limitations. Do not let past failures bind your thoughts. What I am doing is not based on what has been, but on eternal promises, on an everlasting covenant sealed by my own blood. Remember, the past has no authority to define your future. Scars are not signs of defeat. They are marks that you have survived. And now you step into the role of a victor. My child, there will be voices that try to make you doubt. There will be whispers that remind you of the times you stumbled. But whatever may come, remember this. When I look at you, I do not see a record of mistakes. I see a faithful heart, a soul refined by fire, a warrior who did not give up. I see what I have planted deep within you, and I know without a doubt that it will bear abundant fruit, my beloved child. This is a time that will require from you a greater focus than ever before. This is not a moment for distractions, nor a season for chasing after secondary things. It is a time to be deeply rooted in my word, to anchor your soul to promises that cannot be shaken. The winds will blow, the storms will rise, but if you are standing upon the solid rock, nothing will be able to overthrow you. My child, I am breathing new life into the dreams you thought had died. I am reviving things you once believed were over. Even the promises you folded away and tucked into the dark corners of your soul out of fear of disappointment, I am unfolding them word by word. Not a single word I have spoken will return to me void. They shall accomplish the purpose for which I sent them. Be ready, my child, for unexpected doors, for encounters that may seem random but have been divinely orchestrated, for arrangements so miraculous they go far beyond your capacity to plan. For this is the season where I move swiftly and decisively. What you once believed would take a lifetime to achieve, I can fulfill in a moment. So don't wait until you feel fully ready to step forward. Move now with what you have, with a simple yet fierce faith that I will make up for every lack. Every step of obedience draws heaven nearer. Every declaration of faith expands the spiritual territory around you. In this season, along with the blessings, I am calling you into a deeper humility. Not the false humility clothed in insecurity, but true humility, the kind that recognizes every good thing in your life flows from my grace. That apart from me you have nothing, and if I were to withdraw my hand, every accomplishment would collapse like a castle made of sand. Remember, this grace is not only what saved you from sin, it is also the power working in you every day, enabling you to do things you never dreamed possible. Every breath, every opportunity, every miracle is a gift, not the result of your merit, but the fruit of my eternal love. Therefore, when doors open, walk through them with gratitude, not arrogance. When victory comes, lift your head high, but bow your heart before my throne. When praise arises, be quick to return all glory to the one who deserves it. For it is your faithfulness in giving me glory that will be the key to keeping you steady through every season of prosperity. My beloved, do not be afraid when you find yourself increasingly different from the world. That is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Do not worry when the values you hold seem more and more out of place in a world turned upside down. Understand this: you were not called to blend into the darkness, but to shine. You were not created to chase the crowd, but to pursue my heart. The reward I have for you is far greater than anything you could achieve through personal striving. It is not just material blessing or recognition. It is a spiritual reward, a life overflowing with my presence, a soul saturated with supernatural peace, a heart that loves with the very rhythm of heaven. You will come to realize that I, myself, not merely the blessings I give, am the most precious reward in your life. I am the fullness of joy, the unending source of life. So remain faithful, not for the approval of man, but because of the sacred call echoing within your spirit. Keep your heart pure, your eyes radiant, and your hands always ready to serve. Now that everything has been set in motion and you are ready to step into your divine destiny, I speak to you once more with a call full of grace, yet saturated with authority. Step out, for the moment I have long prepared for you has now come. There is no room left for hesitation. There is no more time for doubt. Now is the hour for you to rise fully in the new creation I have formed within you. Open your heart wide to receive the goodness you once dared not even dream of. Remove every limitation that has held your thoughts captive. For I, the Lord your God, God of abundance, am pouring out upon you a river of blessings that no force can stop. What seemed like delay was not rejection, but preparation. The silence of the past season was not abandonment, but the time I used to deepen the roots of faith within your soul. My beloved, as you enter this season, remember, blessings are not meant for your enjoyment alone, but so you may become a wellspring for other souls. I have called you to be a bearer of life, a carrier of light, a vessel of hope, and to fulfill that calling you must walk not only with joy, but with a heart ignited for a purpose far greater than yourself. Child, the greatness I have reserved for you is not found in fame, but in spiritual influence. It is not measured by how many people know your name, but by how many lives are transformed because of your presence. Not by how many praises you receive, but by how many times heaven rejoices over a repentant heart, over a lost sheep, returned through your obedience. Therefore, never measure your worth by the standards of this world. The seeds you sow in silence will reap a harvest far more glorious than any stage can offer. The quiet prayers, the unseen acts of love, the hidden decisions of obedience, these are what write your eternal story in the book of heaven's remembrance. My precious child, the coming days will be filled with divine movement. Many things I have whispered into your heart will begin to take shape. Doors that have long remained closed will open with a swiftness that will leave you in awe. Dreams you once laid down on the altar and trusted fully to me will be revived and filled with new breath by my Spirit. Even so, I must also caution you, with expansion will come testing. With increase will come new battles. With the unveiling of glory will come enemies in hiding. But do not be afraid. I have gone before you and cleared the path, and my power within you will always be greater than any opposition around you. Remember this: victory is not merely a destination, it is a way of life. Victory is not just about achieving goals, but about sustaining faithfulness through favor or hardship. When you endure with faith, when you love with unwavering heart, when you refuse to quit midway, right there, in that very moment, the crown of glory I have prepared is being placed in your hand. My child, I promise you this: what is coming will far exceed anything you have ever prayed for or imagined, and you are worthy of it all. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living word, build an unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.